Hey Hearties, When Calls the Heart just delivered one of its most emotional and heartbreaking episodes yet, leaving fans stunned. Elizabeth receives devastating news about little Jack, changing her world forever. The episode starts as an ordinary day in Hope Valley but quickly turns into a life-changing moment for Elizabeth and those around her. This episode takes viewers on a journey filled with concern, suspense, and ultimately heartbreak. Let's break down what happened and what it means for the future of Elizabeth and little Jack. The episode begins in Elizabeth's classroom where she is finishing up her morning lesson. As she dismisses the children for lunch, she notices that little Jack is still at his desk asleep. Gently waking him, she hears him groggily ask, "Is it time for school, Mama?" His confusion worries her, but he seems fine otherwise. She encourages him to step outside and get some fresh air. Later, outside the schoolhouse, Elizabeth runs into Nathan, who has just been promoted to chief constable. He reassures her that his new title does not change much, but Elizabeth has something else on her mind: her concern for little Jack. She tells Nathan that Jack has been acting a bit different lately, but she isn't sure what's wrong. Nathan asks if Jack might be getting sick, but Elizabeth says he hasn't had a fever. She suspects he's just been staying up too late reading comic books. Nathan, always willing to help, suggests taking Jack for a pony ride on Saturday to get him away from books and out in the fresh air. Elizabeth appreciates the idea and later brings it up with Jack. However, when she tells Jack about Nathan's plan, the young boy hesitates. He explains that his friends have invited him to play baseball on Saturday and he does not want to hurt Mountie Nathan's feelings by saying no. Elizabeth assures him that he should do what makes him happy and that he does not have to do things just to please someone else. In a light-hearted moment, though, she reminds him that he does have to do some things to make his mother happy, like eating healthy snacks instead of asking for cookies. Jack playfully protests, but he listens to his mother's words. When Saturday arrives, little Jack excitedly joins his friends for a game of baseball. The children are having fun, cheering each other on, when suddenly Jack runs after a fly ball that has landed in the woods. The other kids wait for him to return, but after a few minutes they start to worry. Jack is nowhere to be seen. Panic spreads among his friends, and soon the adults in town are alerted. A search party quickly forms, with Nathan leading the way. Everyone spreads out, calling Jack's name. Finally, Nathan spots the young boy lying unconscious on the ground. Rushing to him, Nathan carefully picks him up and carries him back to town. They hurry to the infirmary where Faith immediately examines him. She initially suspects dehydration but decides to run tests to be sure. While waiting for answers, Faith asks Elizabeth if Jack has been acting differently. Elizabeth thinks for a moment and realizes that yes, he has. He has been drinking a lot of water, always feeling hungry, and sleeping more than usual. Concern grows in Faith's eyes as she listens. Later, she confides in May, saying that while dehydration is a possibility, there is another condition she's worried about. However, she admits that Jack does not have all the typical symptoms, so she isn't ready to jump to conclusions just yet. The heartbreaking news. That evening, Elizabeth sits with Jack at home, watching over him closely. She gently asks him how he felt before he went into the woods looking for the baseball. Jack admits that sometimes he feels dizzy. Elizabeth reassures him, holding his hand and promising that she won't let anything happen to him. But deep down, worry lingers in her heart. The next day, Faith receives Jack's test results. Before heading to Elizabeth's house, she pauses for a moment outside, taking a deep breath. She knows the news she is about to deliver will change Elizabeth's life forever. Knocking on the door, she is greeted by Elizabeth and Nathan, both looking hopeful yet nervous. Faith takes a moment before speaking, then gently says, "I am so sorry to tell you that little Jack has diabetes." Elizabeth's face falls and she barely manages to ask, "There's no cure, is there?" Faith shakes her head solemnly. "No, not at this time." Silence fills the room as the weight of the diagnosis sinks in. Elizabeth's world has just changed completely. She realizes that from this moment on, her son's life will never be the same. This episode leaves fans with many questions. How will Elizabeth cope with this devastating news? Will Nathan step in to support her and little Jack through this difficult journey? And how will Hope Valley rally around them in the face of this new challenge? What do you think about this emotional twist? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more When Calls the Heart updates.